I spent 3 weeks setting a trap to catch the person stealing from my wallet. It worked. I've regretted it every day since. The money started disappearing in September. Never much. A 10 here, a 20 there. Small enough that at first I blamed myself. Left it at the gas station, miscounted at the ATM. But by the third month I was sure. Someone in my house was taking cash. And there were only 3 of us. Me, my wife, and our 15-year-old son, Eli. I didn't want it to be him. Eli's the kind of kid teachers brag about. Quiet, polite, works weekends stocking shelves at the grocery store. But my wife hadn't touched my wallet in 20 years of marriage. So I did something I'm not proud of. I photographed the bills, wrote down the serial numbers like some TV detective, left my wallet on the kitchen counter, and waited. Tuesday night, around 1:40 a.m., I heard the stairs creak. I watched from the hallway as my son slid a 20 out of my wallet and eased the front door shut behind him. Every instinct said to yank the door open and start yelling. Instead, I grabbed my coat and followed him. It was freezing out. Eli walked fast, hood up, hands jammed in his pockets, past the school, past the park, almost 2 miles to the 24-hour market on Dunmore Avenue. Through the window, I watched him fill a basket. Bread, eggs, coffee, canned soup, a bag of oranges. He paid with my 20 and walked out with the bags cutting lines into his fingers. I stayed half a block back the whole way, feeling sick. Part of me was relieved it wasn't drugs or something worse. The rest of me couldn't make sense of any of it. Who buys eggs at 2 in the morning? He turned down Holloway Street, a row of tired little houses I hadn't driven past in years, on purpose. He stopped at the last one, the one with the sagging porch, and knocked twice, softly. The porch light came on, and my whole chest turned to cement, because the old man who opened that door was my father. I hadn't spoken to him in 9 years. Not since my mother's funeral, when he showed up drunk and I told him, in front of everyone, that he'd already buried the only person who could stand him. He'd said some things back. I said worse, and that was it. 9 years of nothing. My son was 6 the last time he saw his grandfather. I made sure of it. Now that same kid was standing on his grandfather's porch at 2 a.m., handing him groceries like it was routine, because it was. I crossed the street without deciding to. Eli saw me first. He went white, started stammering, and my father just stood there in the doorway holding a bag of oranges, looking older and smaller than I'd ever imagined him. I asked how long. Eli couldn't answer, so my father did. Since spring. Eli had recognized him at the grocery store, buying a single can of soup and counting out change. He'd followed him home, and he'd been coming back ever since. My father, too proud to take money, would only accept food, so Eli told him it came from his paycheck. Then his hours got cut, and instead of stopping, my son started stealing from me to keep feeding my father. Eli finally found his voice, and it cracked. He said, "He's the only grandpa I've got, Dad. You wouldn't even let me ask about him." I learned things on that frozen porch, that my father had been sober 8 years, that he'd written me letters I never opened, that his fridge, when I finally stepped inside, held almost nothing that didn't come from my own wallet. The 3 of us sat at his kitchen table until 4 a.m. Nobody said anything huge. Nobody apologized yet either. He made the coffee Eli bought. His hands shook the whole time, and I don't think it was age. That was last winter. Now we drive over every Sunday, and my wife sends leftovers like it's a mission from God. My father taught Eli to play cribbage at that same kitchen table. Some nights I hear them laughing and have to leave the room so nobody sees me fall apart. I never punished my son. Never even mentioned the money again. Because yes, my 15-year-old son stole maybe $90 from me over 3 months. But standing on that porch, I finally understood what I'd stolen from him. 9 years of a grandfather who was right across town the whole time. He was just braver than me about getting it back.